Hey guys, it's me, YayaDiamond. What's up, peoples? How you doing? It is a great day, and let me tell you, I'm so very excited to be here. I am here with an author that has a book. I'm going to go ahead and put that on the screen for you so you can see it. It is Lily Among Thorns, and I absolutely love the title of this book. And it is by Annette Mazone, and she's here with us today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, well, thank you for having me.
Oh, no problem, no problem. So, I wanted to get down to the nitty gritty here. Like you, author, same sentence, maybe not. What was that like for you?
If you could repeat the question, that would be.
No, it's okay. I said you and author in the same sentence.
Oh,
Yeah. Was that
okay.
something that you thought would ever happen? I mean, what is that like for you?
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, my forte is art actually, and painting and that kind of thing.
Hmm.
And I just, as I put in my book, actually for my character, because they tell you to write what you know. So I just paint my picture with words,
Mm.
and Um, as far as being an author, it was it was something that I aspired to in a sense where I wanted to write something that I was hoping would connect with people in such a way where it would uplift them,
Right.
and I want there to be hopefully a message that would suit each individual, that they would come away with something from my book to make them know how wonderful they are themselves. So it's just that's what I aspire to
Hmm.
um,
Wow.
when I wrote the book. So, but as far as becoming an author,
Hmm.
um, it was a it was a process in the sense that it took me a while to achieve this goal. And so, what I would come away with saying to that is to the audience is to never give up, is to aspire to your dreams
Hmm.
and take one day at a time. And in God's good time, it's His time. Just keep on keeping on and do your best.
That's
Just
right.
never give up.
Wow. Wow.
So
I mean, yeah, you got to keep going. If you don't keep going, you'll never get it.
that's right.
Yeah.
Right.
So, okay, so what inspired you to write a story centered around the idea of a global leader and the concept of the man of sin from Second Thessalonians 2:3?
Well, um, Bible prophecy is the Bible does speak of as Bible prophecy that Christ is um, his whole the Bible is all prophecy. The way I interpret it, I feel like we're constantly living in a time of prophecy,
Mm-hmm.
and so for myself, writing this book, it took me to a place where I wanted to bring the characters in a practical sense of what would happen to them in as the Bible says, the last days, which
Mm-hmm.
coincides with the book of Revelation. And then there's some things from Daniel, and then there's little glimpses of it throughout the Bible itself. And I put that in a sense, if you ever watched a movie and you see the characters in the backdrop might be World War II, or
Mm.
but through that movie, you see how the character relates to the time that they're living in, and my
Right.
characters are relating to the time of the last days in the book of Revelation, and it's how it touches each individual life. And I hope with that sense of how it touches them, that that'll help the reader, that if they're going through a difficult time or a challenging time, that it would help them in that in their situation. So that's how. But I was always interested in prophecy and the prophecies of the Bible, And so
Right.
I wanted to take it into a practical sense.
That is so cool. So okay, so your
Oh, thank
story,
you.
yeah, no, I mean, to do that is just it's cool because I mean, a lot of people don't understand the Bible prophecies. They don't understand the Bible. They don't understand the stories. They don't understand all of that. But your story highlights a new oppressive world order. What real world trends or events influenced this portrayal?
What real events? Oh gosh. Well, I was just, when I started writing the book, believe it or not, it was in the 1980s.
Oh my
And I
gosh.
was a lot younger,
Oh yeah.
but you go through life and
Mm-hmm.
you're working and this and that. So the book was kind of like, well, let's say I've got a couple of hours here, I'll work on it. And actually, when I initially started writing, I call it God's country. I
Mm-hmm.
used to go out and hiking and that thing, and I would sit on a bridge or a boulder by a river, and I would just write, and that was, you know, my my cathedral, my, like I said, God's country. And so I would just let the characters take me to wherever it was, like facing each new day. I didn't have any preconceived. I knew where the characters were going because I knew how the Bible goes, but I didn't know where my particular people were going to go until I had actually sat down with pen and paper, and that was very exciting. And I would get him into situations where I was like, "Oh my goodness, how am I going to get him out of this one?" So it's just kind of like the way you live.
Right.
You wake up and you're having a wonderful morning, and then you're slammed with a problem, and so that's, and sometimes I even felt bad the way I was, my characters are even saying, I don't know why this is happening to me.
Hmm. Wow.
But, it's just relatable.
Right.
And, there's humor and there's, it's in the course of one conversation with a good friend, you could be laughing and crying, and, that's the way my book goes. So
Mm.
it's very relatable in that sense and very down to earth. So.
Wow. Do you see yourself in any of the characters?
Do I? Well, they say, use your eye what you know. So is a my main character is a woman,
Mhm.
and at the time, I was even younger than my character when I started writing it. So I was relating to that, and um, the family life that I had, and all that kind of thing. She has similar to where I'm Italian, so she's Italian, and because I know how my Italian family acted, so that's how her accent.
Right.
But I try not to be too obvious because I didn't want anybody to think I was writing about them or whatnot. But yes, I pretty much did things of that nature, and but she she progresses in a way where the feelings are real, and the reactions that I give my character, of course, is the reaction that I would have, and so it's very relatable in that sense
Hmm.
to who I am. But and even the other characters that I wrote about, it's very relatable to experiences that we all have with people. But in some cases, I took things to a different level for the book, like suspense and like a thriller kind of moment, and because the book is in the last days, so you do have that that suspense kind of element to it and
Yeah.
drama. So
Wow.
I guess the answer is yes. In a lot of ways, I did. So.
Wow. Do you remember any of the emotions and just things that you went through back then when you were starting in comparison to now? I mean, would you write the book differently?
Oh, Wow, it's really different because so many things have happened to me in the course of that time till now.
Right.
And really, the only thing that I had to really keep up with, because it is a technological age,
Hmm.
and back in the 80s, we didn't have a lot of stuff that we have now.
No.
So I really had to update my book as far as technology goes.
Hmm.
But the way I see it, the human comedy, the human condition is always the same. And
Right.
the emotions are always the same. And so in that sense, it remained the same. And the aspirations and the things that my main character feels.
Hmm.
And her name, by the way, is Lily. And I always liked that name. And there's a lily flower on the cover. And she's holding this flower. But this flower, it could represent her, but I see more where the flower represents her faith
Mm.
because it's purity. And so that represents her faith, and that's what makes my character strong.
Hmm.
You know, she's not very tall. She's average in height, and so she's not strong physically, but spiritually she's a powerhouse. And not all
Right.
the time. I mean, she has her moments,
Hmm. I mean, like everybody.
where it's like I said, why is this happening to me? But
Right.
there's that faith of hers that keeps her going,
Hmm.
that that is always there. And so that's the element. So it's a love story. I have a love story. She has her
Oh.
love interest. Yes, definitely. And that it really is a love story because I've always loved biblical love stories, like the
Hmm.
old ones. And so I thought, well, we need a really good biblical love story. So this I think is really good. And of course I wrote it, but but anyways, it really is. And her love interest, but it's also a love story between her and her faith.
Hmm.
And so the two mesh,
Wow.
and it's really, you know, it it takes you to places where it's very dramatic,
Hmm.
but through the course of through the book, she has an encounter with the authorities, and they take her to incarceration, and
Wow.
she manages to, and she meets her one true love, and they go through a lot of things, and but um, so it really is very dramatic. It's and it does have its element where it's also humorous in a sense where you use your sense of humor to alleviate some of the tension that you're feeling. So.
Yeah. I absolutely love innocent love stories. It was always something for me to, as a young child, to take a book. And usually I did like either mystery, you know what I mean, or love. I absolutely love love. My mom used to buy me these books. They were Christian books, stories of love, friendship, things like that. And I would go to the beach and sit down on the rocks and read the book. It
Mhm.
was just something that was just, I had to do it. It wasn't, it was like calling me, you know what I mean?
Yes,
Your
definitely.
yeah, definitely. Your book, can it be read by someone who's a Christian and a non-Christian?
I think so. I think it's a book for all audiences. I think it would. I think it's even though it has a lot of tension and a lot of drama, and there's the bad guys are really super bad guys. That's the way I can say it. I don't know, but it's rated G bad guys.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, because I just wanted to make it family friendly, and in a sense where, if you ever watch the movies from the 1930s or an old World War II movie where you have all the tension and the drama and
Yeah.
everything, but it's still family friendly. Well, that's the way I wrote the book, and that's what I like actually. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah,
and
definitely.
so yes, and so to answer that question, I would say yes. I think everyone would enjoy it, and it was a wonderful. right for me. And this is only part one.
Oh, okay.
Yes, part two is out. I
Mm,
have part two out, and
nice.
yes, it's a trilogy. I'm currently working on part three.
Oh my gosh.
So, the love story continues.
Mm-hmm. Wow, wow. Well,
Well, I guess I was working on it for so long that I
yeah.
got a trilogy out of it. So,
That's how it works though. I mean, sometimes you just don't know, you just
right.
don't know. You know, I look at today's world with everything that's out there for these young children, and I'm so happy that I raised my children a little bit young. I mean, back, a little bit further back. I mean, not too far back, but a little bit further back in the 90s and the early 2000s. Um and they didn't really go through what these children are going through today with all of the suggestion and the music and a lot of the stuff, you know what I mean? How
Yes.
important is it for your book and books like yours to be out there for the children to actually read and keep their innocence?
Um, I think it's very important. I think it's about time that the creative element of society takes back, and makes it family friendly in a sense, but it doesn't lose any of the content.
Right.
That the content is really really good, and it comes through where the reader is going to be held in suspense and want to turn to that next page and want to see what happens. You don't have to sacrifice any of the creativity just because you're writing or you're painting or whatever your medium is. You don't have to sacrifice any of that to make it excellent and
Mhm.
good. And so that's what I tried. I didn't try to do it; just flowed that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think it's just something that needs to be done, and it's very vital to have that in society,
Mhm.
because what you said with the younger generation, and I think maybe that's why I did start writing it when I was the younger generation, and
Yeah.
so it's very relatable to a younger generation. In the character, she is younger; she's 25, and so it's very relatable. And I think with her parents and her family home life, which I said was similar, to mine and to a lot of people.
Mhm.
And so I think that would resonate with the younger audience. But also, as you read part two and then you get into the next book, you also meet the parents, you also meet the siblings, and you see the interaction between all these different people. And I think that's relatable to bring in a, you know, the respectful attitude and
Mhm.
the real. You have to keep it real also.
Yeah.
So those are the those are. I think it's very important. I really do.
That's wonderful. I do too. I think it's important. I think it's important not only for the children to, have something innocent and that they can actually see real love, but also for the
Hmm.
parents that don't have to worry about what these children are reading nowadays. It's and seeing. This is
Right.
it's absolutely crazy. Thank you so much, Annette, for being on the show today.
Oh well, thank you for having me. I enjoyed it very much. You were so wonderful.
Oh, thank you. And so are you. I mean, this is great. I mean, and to know that you can continue a book, even if you think you put it down, you can always continue it and pick up where you left off. And then you never know, it just might become a trilogy like yours. Blah blah blah. But thank you so much for being here. People can find your book on Amazon, right?
Amazon, Barnes and Noble, so
Awesome.
they can find it right there.
Okay. Well, we
And
put the link in the description below so that it'll be easy for you guys to find it, as well as if you're watching on your television or somewhere where you can actually scan the QR code that's on the bottom there that you're watching the screen on. you can definitely go there, or just put in Annette Mazone, or you could put Lily Among Thorns and find it as well. I want to thank you guys so much for
Yes.
tuning in. Don't forget to dare to be different, but most of all, don't forget that, life is not over until you're dead. I mean, that's the way I see it,
That's a good way of putting it.
Oh, yes. And
Oh,
don't forget.
could I just say one more thing?
Yes,
I just wanted
definitely.
to say if they want to know more, I do have a website.
Oh,
So
good.
there's things about my book there, and I have Bible studies there,
Hmm.
and it's AnnetteKMazone.com. So that's real easy.
Oh, it's just your name.com. Okay.
Yeah.
So Annette K. Mazone. We'll have that link in the description box below as well.
Oh, thank you.
No problem. All right, guys. Until next time, don't forget to dare to be different. Bye. Thank you for watching.